Well, hey, welcome back to Kings Road, Young Lions. I'm your DM for this evening. My name is Saucey, and I'm here with three very fine role players. They are Rosa, Gator, and Cousin Roman / Solomon Scribbles. We're operating tonight without Bronson and without Zinthral. So the three young lions that were here, say hello, young lions.
Hello, young lions.
Hello, young lions.
You know, we've hit the critical point of the campaign where the walls are closing in and things are going awry. Everybody is at odds with each other and going their own separate ways. So it's a little fitting that we're missing half of the party. But tonight's going to be a special edition where it's magic users only going off on their, how do we describe this? You know, it really will depend on which way you want to go tonight as to how the session goes. So I have contingencies built into the story here. This definitely is not a railroad, and I challenge you to make me laugh tonight, guys. So let's see what we can come up with. So, refresher, where we left off last week. Zinthral had disappeared after his match. There was a bit of a fact-finding mission where the party went around town trying to find some clues. They didn't find any clues about Zinthral, but you did find some clues about the Darker Order, possibly being involved with the murder and disposal of a body in town square. The body of Q, that was Zinthral's former opponent down on the farm. Later, there was a visit made to the Gusher, that's the Hardway clubhouse, and Cousin Roman made an appearance, got in tight with Rico Ishii and Jazzy Jake, and Rico showed our friend Cousin Roman a little secret, a shiny prize back in the treasure room of the Hardway clubhouse. It was an urn, and perhaps this was a mistake on my part as a DM, because as soon as the party saw that urn, they were obsessed with it. What do we do with the urn? Where do we take it? Should we blow it up? Should we throw it in the water? The plan that came out of this was to forge a second urn, hold on to the urn while trying to discern whose ashes were inside of it, then plant a bomb inside the forged urn, fill it with demon balm and ball bearings, set some type of booby trap for when the lid is removed, it'll blow up, and then sneak that back into the Hardway clubhouse. And that's what was done after the assistance of a floating disc on behalf of Gator and some other tricks up everyone's sleeves. That's where we're about to end the session, but as a couple of our magic users took refuge inside of a candle shop, a familiar face appeared back in town, and that's the face of Hardway founder Silvario and a couple of the other Hardway members who were present in the Lucha Town skirmish. So as the Hardway originals are approaching the Gusher, Cousin Roman is there with a couple of the other prospects. Of course, Cousin Roman in full disguise. And just, that's where we leave it now. So, party, I'm going to give you the option here. Where do we go from here?
Please, by all means, anybody else can go first.
You got all the quiet ones.
I'm more contemplative than quiet.
Well, on behalf of Bronson, who is not with us tonight, we'll be back next week. He will follow the orders of the party, so he's willing to play along with whatever the plan is here.
So, we haven't heard any big booms yet or anything, right?
No explosions.
I mean, they just got there, right?
Well, the bomb has been planted, but that's the extent of what's happened thus far.
Okay.
So right now, Solomon is standing outside of a building which is holding a bomb of unknown power. But it seems like it's pretty nasty by the way it was described.
I mean, I'm inclined to sit back and observe, but that's Rosa.
I'm just wondering, I guess, do we have any standing orders to like report to Jin Coronado or any of the any is there anybody in town that we were supposed to meet up with or anything before we get real serious here?
Well, yeah, the connection that you have in town right now is with the head booker of Grapplemania, and that is Dane Caruso, who has already given Bronson some ideas on how he wants the match booked, but did not seem entirely settled on that and still is holding some secrets up his sleeve. So that is your connection with Bronson's Battle Royal match happening the following evening and visitors in from the hard way tonight. It doesn't leave you a whole lot of time. It is currently about midday. So that leaves you, let's say, about 8 hours of daylight. And then the following day is the day for Grapplemania.
We should probably find out if any of the Hardway members are going to be in that Battle Royal, and maybe just so, even just Bronson knowing that going in, like if someone's wearing a mask or something, he can be aware it might be a Hardway member out for blood.
Well, Bronson definitely would like to get back to Caruso to find out what his role in the match is going to be. So that's
Gator presumes he might have a role as a manager as well. So we should probably go see this person and get on with the questioning.
Absolutely. So with Cousin Roman hanging out in front of the clubhouse and trying not to draw attention to himself, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
I got a 13. Rolled a 5. Wait, no. That's not 13. That's 14. My bad.
Okay, a 14. So as Silvario and his entourage is approaching the gusher, Silvario doesn't pay any attention to you, but one of the others does give you a second look. And of course it's the man to your right, to his left, the one with the sunglasses. You recognize this as the person who had a match with Zinthral back at Lucha Town, although you're not sure you remember his name. In fact, you weren't even sure that he was still alive the last time you saw him.
I'm pretty sure that's the guy who repeatedly shit his pants.
I would say, is that Apex?
It is indeed, yes.
High five, Solomon.
So as Silvario walks past Solomon and into the front doors of the gusher, the lady also follows suit, and Apex gives Cousin Roman a long, hard look up and down, enough to make you a little uncomfortable. You'll have to put a pin in that and keep an eye on him. The other one with the cowboy hat is not one that you recognize, was not present at the dogfight, but he is certainly the most handsome of the group and charismatic, is not concerned at all with anything that's going on. It just appears to be there for a good time and has no cares in the world. So they walk into the gusher and you hear people start drinking almost immediately. At this point,
I gotta go in. I gotta follow in behind everybody else, and as much as I can, just try to ply the room with as much liquor as possible. Like, I'll even run over to the bar and like grab bottles and run around and fill up people's cups, just to try to boost the amount of alcohol consumption that will already be copious.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And Jazzy Jake is doing the same, as well as the other prospects. So while this is happening, and that'll keep you busy for a while this is happening inside the shop, Bronson, Gator, and Rosa. Gator, you're having a mild to severe reaction to the candles. Is this an allergy that he's developed over time? Or is it one specific set that bothers him?
Well, it's just all the stuff they put in. Like, it's just very, very potent. It might be the eucalyptus. I'm not sure. I've never had a reaction like this. But can we get out of here?
Yeah. Let me have a Constitution check.
Oh.
Fun fact, he's also allergic to sailing.
I got a 9.
A 9. Yeah, so it's the candles that smell like the ocean that bother you the most, right? It's
sea salt.
Maybe it's just nostalgia, or could be the sea salt. But you are more than happy to leave the candle shop. As you're going to exit, the shop owner says, "So no purchases today? I've got a little bit of everything here, except for I don't have anything at purple or black. I'm completely sold out."
None for me. I'm just a looky-loo.
So, do you have a little bit of do you have lavender?
Do we have lavender? Of course we have lavender.
Ooh. Can I get like a little small candle? Getting it for a friend. And I kind of look at Bronson, be like a smug look. You ever see that smug goat meme? That's it. That's me.
So a lavender candle. He tries to talk you into buying a bundle of candles. It's really much cheaper if you get them in bulk.
I mean, I also can just not buy this candle. I know what lavender looks like.
Let's have a persuasion check.
Boy. 16.
16. So it's interpreted as just some kind banter back and forth, and the response is, "Of course, my lady, let me wrap that up for you. Should you need anything else, please speak up, and it would be my pleasure to serve you and provide all of your lighting needs."
So, why don't you have any of these in purple and black?
Well, they've been sold out for quite a while now. There's one individual that comes in about once a week and buys everything that I have.
What's this fellow look like, just by chance?
I'd be happy to tell you. I was just telling one of my better clients earlier today. Somebody who buys candles by the dozen. But my memory's starting to get a little foggy about the details.
How about this? You wanna play a little 20 questions? Because I have an image of a dude in my mind, and I'm curious if I'd be able to guess him.
Oh, well, sure. But first, so you're absolutely sure I can't convince you to take a look at anything else? We have lotions as well. All manner of smelly things.
You know what? Let's talk a little bit about some of your lavender lotion, and maybe ask a few questions about this person I have in my mind.
Sure. Well, please go ahead.
Let's see. Does this man have 2 jackets?
2 jackets. Oh, no.
Oh. See, that's what I was wondering about. What kind of smell would help with the unfortunate gentleman that was in the street?
What? Say that again? What kind of smell would help with...
The poor gentleman they found in the street.
Oh, well...
I'd like to light a candle in the church.
What? So is this a religious candle, or is this more of a relaxation type candle?
So this is the lavender candle. We got that settled. That's for a grumpy green friend that is showing candles over there to the one that sneezes at everything. This one would be for religious reasons.
Okay. Well, we have a full line of religious candles with images of all of the gods, whatever you like. These are the tall candles in the glass vases that you need a long matchstick to light. Those sort of the candles. Also, there are many floral candles as well as those that smell like holiday seasons and sweet fruits, cookies, anything you can imagine.
Oh, but nothing in purple. This candle over here, I think, would be perfect for the gentleman. I'll be taking that with me, but can you tell me, where I might be able to get a purple candle? I know you said someone comes in and buys the whole lot of them. Maybe he'd be kind enough to lend me one, because this person that that I'll be going to pray for, they really like the color purple.
I would love to tell you, but I have a long day of candle making and stacking. I'm not sure I have enough time for that story. If somebody were to come in and buy me out for the day, I'm sure that would open my schedule up for all sorts of storytelling.
And what would you need to, close out your tab for the day?
Oh, well, let's say, 15 gold would suffice. I mean, that's typically what we would sell over the course of a day.
And how much was the first candle I purchased, or are we just...
It's fairly insignificant. Less than a gold.
You know what? Do you guys want a bunch of candles? Asking Bronson and Gator. You guys want a bunch of candles, or you think these 2 will be enough, pretty much?
Gator's got like a foot out the door.
Okay. So, how about, I'll bargain with you here. This candle here, and the religious candle, maybe a little lavender lotion, 15 gold.
Sure, let me wrap that up for you. And, now that you mention it, if you really wanted to pick up some purple candles, I think I know someone who, far to the east of here in the swamplands, they say it's lovely this time of year. I don't think I particularly agree, but they have quite a stock, an overstock, if you will, of purple candles. You just follow the road all the way out until it turns, until the dirt turns to mud, and then you go a little bit farther. You don't by chance have a map on you, do you?
Pretty sure I actually did.
Well, if you did have a map, I would circle the precise
I do.
location of where you could find some candles for purchase, for relaxation and religious purposes.
Now I'm looking specifically for the purple ones, though.
Oh yeah, purple and black. Either
All
one.
right.
Either one. They have lots.
And I do actually have a map of Timber Clash. Got it from the Lawful Goodwill, so I'll kind of scoot it towards them.
Okay, so on the map of Timber Clash, sure enough, to the east, where the land goes down almost below sea level into the barrens, where the trees are they're either dead or they're completely overgrown and mossy. That's exactly where this location is. He kind of circles an area and says, just one more bit of advice. It's a long trek out there. You're going to want to conserve your energy. If you can find a carriage to save yourself the walk, that would be a wise decision.
I'll take it under consideration. Thank you very much for your fine wares.
So, with that said, the shopkeeper will escort you to the front door, eager to close for the day and to flip the sign over to closed. Anything else before the party leaves?
Gator's been gone mentally this whole time.
Great.
So on the way out, Bronson finds the largest green candle that they have there, picks it up and says, "This is mine," and he takes that as well, without any objection from the shop owner. Okay, so once the party gets back into the streets, no sign of the hard way other than the one. There are a couple guards posted up in front of the gusher itself. Inside the clubhouse, or saloon, if you will, Cousin Roman, you are hustling. There are orders being barked over the counter. Get me this, make me this drink. Things you've never even heard of. Some things which are highly offensive. And once they're explained to you what they are, you realize that there are much less offensive ways to ask for the same drinks. But that's just the way the hard way rolls. They do not hold anything back. So, Cousin Roman, knowing that there is a bomb on the other side of this liquor wall, and you're in a room full of potential hostiles, what do you do?
I feel like it would behoove me not to continue to ingratiate myself and attempt to play the part of a prospecting member. Do I feel like there's a lot of pressure on the line right now for that? Or perhaps I could sneak away and not be missed. I know that lady's watching close and shit pants clocked me as well.
Give me a perception check.
Well,
10.
Did you say 10?
Yep.
10, not great. 10's not great. So you're trying to accomplish two things here. You're trying to gather information, doing reconnaissance on the hard way, and you're trying to look for an opportunity to exit. So you catch bits and pieces of what these guys are talking about. And the gist of what you've learned is that the members of the Hardway with Silvario, they are known as Apex, Miss Bethany, and Rio Sagebrush. Of that group, 2 of them are competing in Grapplemania pretty soon. They've already gotten a rocket push to skip fighting on the farm and go directly into Grapplemania. One of them, if not both of them, are going to make their debut in this battle royale. And they all seem very excited about it to be able to jump the line.
Is it Apex and Hat Guy?
Yeah, Apex and Rio are the ones that are going to be competing.
And the match, the battle royale is tomorrow, right?
Yes, it is.
There's a lot of things that Solomon has to take into consideration here. Especially considering if any of these drunk idiots think, hey, what's inside their dark urn? Everything changes in a split second. I'm gonna stick around. I'm gonna schmooze. I'm gonna continue to up my game, and I'm gonna try to seduce Rio.
Okay, you're going to seduce Rio. So,
Yep.
well, that would be maybe a persuasion check.
As
Underpants.
I make sure that I am the only one that's serving him drinks. And just use my wiles as it.
Is there
As
any
it were.
any sort of performance involved here, or is it just straight on like flirting?
I think it's straight on flirting.
Okay. All right. So yeah, it'll just be a persuasion check then.
Okay, persuasion, only 15.
15. 15's enough. Okay, so you've informed the rest of the staff here that only you are to serve Rio drinks all night. So tactfully, you approach Rio, not knowing how he'll respond to being approached, right? Or interrupted. He's the center of attention in the group of people that he's in. He's got his feet up on a table, and he's laughing and drinking, and somehow you're able to present yourself in a way that, you know, it's well-timed, you say all the right things, and it's a very good first impression with Rio. And I don't know that he is sexually attracted to Cousin Roman, but there's certainly some type of bromance brewing there. Like this is my guy right here, the drink man. Just keep him coming, buddy. And you're like, I got you, pal. No worries, I'm your man.
I'll bring them to him 2 at a time.
Okay. Serve them like. You know what? I'm not going to finish that sentence. You're going to seductively serve him his Jello shooters.
Oh God.
And ultimately, I'm just coming at him with the same vibe that Cousin Roman brings to everybody.
You just put the bottle on top of your head and then just balance it all the way to the table. Okay, yeah. So you've built this bond with this drunken bond with Rio during this process. Let's have another persuasion check.
Come on.
All right, I'm sorry.
I've
Correct.
not rolled higher than a 9.
Not persuasion. Perception.
Aha! 21.
21. Perfect. All right, so here's what you've learned about the group after spending a fair amount of time with them, at least an hour. And we'll cut back to everybody who's outside, who's probably growing impatient at this point. But indoors, what you've learned is that Rio is actually not a bad guy. He's a bit arrogant, and you can tell he definitely loves himself, but he really likes entertaining other people as well. He's trying to include everybody in the conversation, make them feel like they're part of the story. He's under different circumstances, somebody who you wouldn't mind being friends with. Apex, on the other hand, is a little dirty dog that should sleep on the floor. He's awful. He's not particularly charismatic with anybody, especially now that he's embarrassed himself in front of the Hardway members on the King's Road. Not just in Lucha Town and at the docks, but repeatedly since then. He's picked up a few of his badges, as Rio has done the same. They both have 3 of their own badges, with this being their 4th badge should they pick it up pretty soon. And then Miss Bethany, who is one of only 3 women that are here inside the Gusher, is just a nice queen. She is cold-hearted. She has an affinity for fire, right? She keeps playing with fire as she's drinking. You've discerned that she's certainly some type of wizard, an arcane wizard, but that was something you learned back in Lucha Town when she had set everything on fire. She certainly would have no qualms about setting this building and the rest of the town on fire either. But you do your best to steer clear of her. Now, Silvario is certainly overcome with stress about what to do with the King's Road. Capital D was not supposed to lose in his match against the Exalted One. So Silvario's had to pivot here and has had to become a leader. Has also had to reconcile the death of his good friend, Nyx, and one of his followers, the Half-Giant. He's lost some brothers, some friends he's known for a long time in the last few weeks, and it's starting to take a toll on him. He's starting to crack a little bit. He's certainly not the braggadocious guy that he was the first time that you met him, but he's also in different company now. He doesn't feel the need to pump out his chest. People come to him for advice and for his blessings, and he's a little bit more stoic than he would normally be. So he keeps to his corner, toothpick in his mouth, grease in his hair, and he is just content to be sitting in one place around friends for now. They all seem to be pretty occupied at this moment. Rio is now fully stocked up with plenty of drinks. And if you were going to exit, you have now found a window of time where it would make sense to do so. So there are
right. Then as a final Hail Mary, in that moment, I kind of like, if I can get a quick private word with Rio, just like, hey, off to the side real quick.
Sure. So you can have a little sidebar there. There's a little poker table in the corner there, which hasn't started up a game yet, but you could certainly pull him aside there for a semi-private chat.
Yeah, Rio, looking great. It's so wonderful to have you all in town. Super stoked about all the parties we're gonna get into, brother. You guys are gonna take this Royal Rumble. I that whole WrestleMania thing, there's scripted stuff. I spit on the floor. You guys just gotta take the championship, take the badge for yourself right away. It's gonna be awesome. But, in the meantime, I was wondering, as a higher up member, and you clearly have the ear of Silvario, and being just such a good guy, I thought I might pass this up the ladder so that maybe you get the credit up and coming before your big show. I might have a lead on where to find some of these darker order. And this is just a suggestion, but if you came with me to go find the darker order, then you get the credit for telling Silvario where their hideout is.
And I cast suggestion on him.
Okay. Tell us how suggestion works again.
I suggest a course of activity, limited to a sentence or two, magically influence a creature you can see within range that can hear and understand you. Creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect, and suggestion must be worded in such a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable. Asking the creature to stab itself, throw itself into a spear, immolate itself with other obviously harmful act ends the spell. Target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it pursues the course of action you described to the best of its ability. The suggested course of action can continue for the entire duration. If the suggested activity can be completed in a shorter time, the spell ends when the subject finishes what it was asked to do. You can also specify conditions that will trigger a special activity during the duration. For example, you might suggest that a knight give her war horse to the first beggar she meets. If the condition isn't met before the spell expires, the activity isn't performed. If you or any of your companions damage the target, the spell ends. And that was the entire spell description. So, when this spell does end, if it succeeds, he will not know that I charmed him.
Okay. We're going to do a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save 14. Cross your fingers, gang.
Okay, we'll roll it on the screen here. Now keep in mind that Solomon does not know what the rest of the party knows. So he fails the saving throw. And
yeah, I don't know what the rest of the party knows. I just that is I figure our intended goal, and we got the fake back to the thing, so we can. He's still in the mindset we're gonna use the pot to divine our way to wherever they're hidden.
You're
and I
use...
can hijack this guy for 8 hours.
Okay, so you have his interest. This all sounds very good to him, and he seems a little confused, but he hasn't thought about it too much, and you seem like a good guy, and this makes sense. So he wants to know more about the plan.
This is gonna get you seen by capital D, brother, alright? We're going after the enemy. Just trust me. Come with me. I'll explain it all on the way there. We're gonna meet up with some contacts of mine. They're gonna do some hoo-ha diddly dinks. We're gonna figure out where they are.
So he's nodding along and repeating the words that you're saying. He said, capital D,
You're gonna be his number one guy after this, bud. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna follow along. We're gonna get the end. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. That doesn't sound so bad. When do we go?
Well, I mean, kind of a lull right now. You got plenty of time before your rumble tomorrow. We want you to be fully rested after all. So why don't we go try to take care of this right now?
All right. Well, what are we waiting for? So he stands up, kicks a chair out of the way. He takes his beers with him out the front door. He's double fisting at this point. As he goes by, he instructs somebody else that they're in charge as he leaves. Of course, he's not in charge of anything. But, he flicks a couple coins on the table for the staff. slides you a couple gold your way, gives you 3 gold as a tip as well for the service, and just goes directly for the front door. He's not trying to evade anybody, just goes right at the door.
And I will try to slip out unnoticed.
Okay. So there's a couple different exits here. The easiest is going behind the bar into the hallway behind the bar. There are also, it doesn't look like there's a latrine inside the building, so there must be an outhouse or some type of latrine outside where people would go use the restroom. So it's easy enough for you to go behind the bar and exit through one of the doors back there. And then circle around the building.
Sprint around to the front.
That's right.
To meet back up with him.
Okay, so out front in the street, we've got Gator, Rosa, and Bronson. And Bronson is getting impatient. And he knows better than to give attitude to Rosa because she's not having it. But with Gator, Bronson is very insistent that, hey, I really want to go talk to Caruso again. Like, can we get out of here?
Let's go already. And meanwhile, Gator has been loudly clearing his nose.
All right, so while Cousin Roman is inside the gusher, there's no telling how long he's going to be in there. He might be in there all night. The two of you go to leave towards the D&DCW arena. What does Rosa do? Now, you're split. The party is very split at this point. You've got 2 of your friends heading in one direction. You've got Solomon in the other direction, and Zinthral still MIA.
So Gator and Bronson, they're going to D&DCW?
Yeah, and of course we haven't mentioned Snuggle Cup, your pet lion, in a little while. What's Snuggy up to these days?
Gator Solomon?
I would have put Snuggle Cup in the under the responsibility of Bronson, and maybe asked Rosa to keep an eye on Bronson, keeping an eye on Snuggle Cup.
I thought he was on the ship, actually, now that I think back.
Unfortunately, I've had to neglect Snuggle Cup a little bit lately with my infiltration.
Well, that's okay, because Snuggle Cup has taken quite a liking to Gus on the ship, and Gus would be happy to watch the growing cat at this point, much larger than the last time we saw an image. We'll have to refresh that image. But you can leave Snuggle Cup on the ship, and Gus can take care of him.
So, did we figure out Snuggle Cup then?
Sounds like it.
Unless there's any objections, we'll go with that. Okay, so Rosa, you're going to follow Gator to the arena, yes?
Yes, because there is someone I do want to talk to if he's around.
Okay, fair enough. Let's cut over to the arena, and the meeting is with Mr. Dane Caruso, head creative for Grapplemania, had the wise decision to book Daniel Danielson to win the badge in a battle royale, which is going to include Bronson and several other fighters. So that's where we were last time you met with him. However, Mr. Caruso has a habit for overbooking matches and changing his mind at the last minute. So let's see where we end up this time. So Bronson, less than stealthily, walks straight towards the office of Mr. Caruso. Assuming that everybody else follows in suit. Is that accurate?
Gator has some things to say, so he follows in.
Okay. And Rosa, do you go inside the building? You said there's someone you needed to speak with.
Yeah, I'm looking for the head trainer.
Okay. All right, so you know where Caruso's office is, and of course, he is in there having a cigar and some whiskey, and is currently writing and rewriting the booking for the match, for all of the matches, which are going to appear in less than a day. As you enter the room, he gives you a look, he waves you in, and Bronson and Gator, you were there with Mr. Caruso. Boys, what can I do for you? What do you have for me?
Well, we're here to sign the contract to ensure that Bronson here wins the Battle Royal.
Oh, wins the Battle Royal, you say? Well,
he wins the Battle Royal.
Well, remind me again. Last time you were in here, who did we have booked to win the contest?
There's a couple of names were tossed in the air. I don't know. I started with a P, maybe a W. I don't know.
Well, to be give me a deception check.
A deception check, you say? Wait a minute, because I always forget. Clipboard in hand, I give my deception check.
Yeah, of course, I have it right here. It's right here on the paper.
Yeah, I'm pointing, and I flipped through a few pieces of paper, and I'm saying, right, it's right here, isn't it? How did I have advantage and rolled the same number twice? That's a total of 12.
12, okay. He doesn't quite believe you, but he admits that he's already changed his mind a few times since he started booking this show. Originally, it was going to be Daniel Danielson. That is totally thrown out of the window. Then he had the bright idea of bringing in a legacy fighter, the son of a legend. He's going to bring in Cobra Rhodes to win the match. That lasted.
Isn't he the son of a legend?
He is. He's pretty sure he's related to a long line of plumbers or something like that. But that lasted for all of 10 minutes before he changed his mind. He rebooked it again. So the operating idea right now, and you're going to love this, he says, wait for it, winning the Battle Royal is the most beautiful man you've ever met. Me, Dan Caruso. Just think about the heat we're going to get for that match. You put the one man in the match.
That idea right now.
What's that?
I'm hot about that idea right now.
But see, this is money. This is going to make money. Think about the reaction we're going to get in that crowd.
You mispronounced Bronson Celtigar.
Perhaps there's oh, I see what you did there. I see. You're clever. How's that working out for you? Being clever.
Working out fine.
Okay. Yes. Okay. This is a foolproof idea, but I did have another idea on top of that. Let's see. We have somebody else. Can you keep a secret?
Yes. And
Okay.
I put my hand up to my ear.
I have, upon good authority, heard that a very famous bard from the capital is going to be in town tomorrow. And this match is our blue chip product. This is the main event. This is the match of the year. Tell me if you've ever heard this name before, and try not to get too excited. A man by the name of Javen Marquette, famous bard. Huh? Anything? Marquette?
Is this something should I do a history check? Is this something like maybe
Sure.
Would that okay? Because if it's possible, it could click a memory like maybe I have heard of him.
Yeah,
But it
history
doesn't
check.
mean I'm gonna let on.
Let's have a history check.
Why would the natural 20 on the bullshit check? So 23.
23. You are very aware of who this person is. And this person, Javen Marquette, is not a fighter. Not at all. Not somebody that should ever win a wrestling match. This person is a bard, a performer, an actor, scrawny, right? And somewhat unlikable. Just not a good idea at all. But this is someone who's pretending, and you've heard stories that how much of a super fan this guy is, Javen Marquette. He thinks that he's the real deal too, and that he can do this. He can be one of you, a real contender. But you know he is an absolute joke, an absolute joke. He comes from a
Gator doesn't let on.
No,
Gator doesn't let on. He just kind of like purses his lips and nods a little bit and says, "That'll get the heat." And meanwhile, upstairs, Gator's already coming up with a plan. So go on. Tell me, like, so what's the finish?
So the finish is that Danielson is going to win, and then Marquette steals it. You know, he cheats. Some type of foreign object is provided to him, maybe by one of the staff, or maybe he has henchmen. You know, we're still working out the details, but it's a dirty finish. Marquette picks up his badge, and the room just is white hot. People are throwing things into the ring. It's amazing. It's drama. It's theater.
It's better than writing yourself into it. But here's the deal. If you want this to go down correctly, don't count on henchmen they bring in. I've already proven myself useful and smart and wise. Let me be the one
That's a
that
great...
hands the weapon over.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I'm liking this a lot.
No one would expect it from me.
I'm liking this a lot.
And if we play it right, heel turn. If everybody picks up, if they're really paying attention, they see me slip them that whatever we come up with. Because I'm presuming we're gonna have to. Me and him will work out the particulars just so it goes right.
You know what? I love this idea. Let's do this.
Yes.
You could be this henchman for Mr. Javen Marquette, bard extraordinaire of the capital city itself, and this is going to be a memorable night. It'll be amazing. And your name again. How do I spell your name again?
It's always Gator first.
Mm-hmm,
and then Gary Golden with two R's.
Is that Gator with a G? That's a G-A...
let me show you, and I etch with my finger.
Oh, yes. Of course. Gator. I knew it was Gator. I thought you had one of those funny spellings. Just wanted to make sure that it's correct in my books. But yes. Meet here tomorrow, and we will get you to wardrobe. We'll get you all set up. It'll be great. Let's make some money.
We all henched out.
That's right. And how is Bronson reacting to this entire conversation? He's remarkably well-mannered. Usually has so much more to say.
Bronson has taken a notice that when Gator starts talking real fast, that he just kind of lets it happen. He assumes Gator has a plan, and that he will be filled in once people who don't need to know about the plan are out of earshot. So he's just nodding appropriately and grimacing when appropriate at the mention of anybody else winning but him. He's basically playing along.
Perfect. Great. Well, Dane Caruso does not offer a handshake. Of course, he doesn't shake hands. He's a bit of a germaphobe, but he'll give you an elbow bump and send you on his way. Should you wish to to make physical contact with the man. Otherwise, he's happy to just shoo you away and ask you to close the door on the way out.
I have to go along politely for now, so I begrudgingly, without letting on elbow bump, and smile and nod, yes, out the door, out the door. Slam, Bronson, listen. And I go into this montage spiel of how I'm in charge of fixing the end of the match, but it's not going to go the way that this guy thinks it's going to go. And you're not going to have been eliminated like everybody thought you were.
Bronson loves this idea. He says he's a step ahead of you. This was his plan all along. Perfect that it's working out. This is a great opportunity. He just wants to make sure that there is a plan for what happens after the match, because that could get a little dicey.
Well, we have time to come up with the after plan. We have the before plan.
That's right. Okay. Miss Rosa, you are looking for a man wearing 2 jackets. Am I correct about that?
Yeah, that's the one I talked to where I kind of gave my, like, would it be diagnosis of a Q? That's who I talked to, right? Or he asked me for kind of a timeline.
Here he is. Yeah, so after investigating a little bit, you're able to find the head trainer, a man by the name of Doomtrain Jones. He is with his wife, who you have... let me have a history check.
Okay. History. Check out that here. Ooh, sweet. I got a double proficiency on that. 21.
Okay. You know his wife. She goes by the name of Vanessa McDragon. And, of course, her father is Vance McDragon, the owner of Grapplemania. And, of course, nepotism never ceases to amaze. She has married one of the talent, Doomtrain Jones, former champion. And now he has ascended to the position of head trainer. While he earned this position through means that are questionably ethical, he's certainly well respected as somebody who knows his craft and is a leader in the business. He makes himself readily available to anybody that works for the company, and today is no difference. He's working the ring and helping some of the younger recruits with some of their ring presence, working through some of the matches, how to work a crowd, how to present themselves a little bit better. So he is certainly approachable should you want to talk to him.
I'd like to try to, wave to get his attention. I know he's a very busy man, so...
Okay.
Wave, kind of indicate that I'd like to have a word.
Okay, so you approach the ring and you give him a wave from a distance. He does acknowledge you, and he gives you a quick little 2-finger wave to come a little bit closer while he continues watching the match that's happening inside the ring.
All right. Kind of step up over by him.
Okay, and as you approach, he goes... What's going on, Doc? Any broken bones today that we need to worry about?
Well, there's a bit of a bone I have to pick.
Ooh, I don't like the sound of that.
But this is just a doctor following up on a patient, basically. You remember you came and talked to me about our friend Q? Quick switch?
I do, of course.
And has it gotten back to you what happened to that poor gentleman?
Well, there hasn't been much heard about Q at all. Now that I think about it. Well, since the leg injury and you saw the leg.
Oh, absolutely. And I was prepared to work on said leg until these gentlemen came and hauled him up. You know anything about them? This was after I gave you my my advice as a doctor, and suddenly my patient was taken.
Okay.
So, would
So-
you know anything on that?
So he goes quiet for a minute, and he's kind of chewing the inside of his cheek and nodding his head while not saying anything. Gives you a look, and let's have a persuasion check.
18.
18. He says, yeah, as a matter of fact, I have heard some things, some things that are not so above board. Got involved with some very bad people. You know, the details are a little sketchy, but you know, these sorts of things happen. People disappear. People don't get the call up as fast as they want, and they tend to retaliate or they tend to panic. He wouldn't be the first person to wash out of this process. You know, that's really what Grapple Mania is all about, is about making these young guys earn it, to teach them some respect, honor among warriors. Some of these guys just don't have it in them. They don't have the patience to wait for it. So he may have washed out. It may have been done on his own. Or, you know, there are rumors that some other things may have happened. That's none of my business.
So, you had nothing to do with the gentleman that came and took him away from me.
Do you think I had something to do with him being taken away?
I mean, if you look at it from my perspective, patient comes in, I assess them. You came and asked me. I gave you, you know, what I thought would be the timeline for his healing. And suddenly, after I spoke with you, he's gone. He was taken by some gentlemen in purple and black robes. Just, you can see how I might draw the conclusion that I drew.
Well, since we're drawing conclusions here, I'm going to conclude that you don't know as much about me as you probably should, and we should also conclude that people need to be more conscious of who they keep company with, because the folks that took you away are the same folks that brought him there. So what strange company we keep.
I appreciate your time and your perspective.
You know,
I
and
think you gave me all the answers I need.
And before you come to my place of business and accuse me of anything, again, let's try to make sure that you've got some type of at least anecdotal evidence that I'm involved. Because you can ask anybody in this room that I'm a stand-up guy. And I care more about this business than I do about life itself. I want that kid to do well. And if he didn't do well, it wasn't anything I did that put him in that position. We were going to push that kid to the moon. And, you know, things happen. So I feel bad. I genuinely feel bad for that kid.
Well, I hope you'll light a candle for him.
Yeah. I'll do that. I'll look into that. Now,
I'll let you back to your work.
Perfect. Hey, Doc, it's always a pleasure whenever you stop by. It's been too long. Let's make sure the next time we see each other is under better circumstances.
Believe me, I hope for the exact same thing.
All right. Send my love to your big green friend. Can't wait to see what he does tomorrow night.
I will. Thank you.
Very well. So, with that said, Doom Train sets his focus right back on the ring again, as if nothing had happened, or as if these types of interruptions happen several times a day. He's very unfazed, but stern and stoic in his nature. You have the information we're looking for. Maybe you don't quite know how to take that interaction, whether that was a good thing or a bad thing. But what would you like to do with that information now that you have it?
Well, I mean, he was brought in by the Dark Order. Seems like we have... Well, he was brought in and he was taken out. Possibly. I mean, I'd want to look into the Dark Order, but I obviously am not going to be able to do that on my own. I'm only a halfling. I got little legs.
That's true. Speaking of little legs, let's cut back to Cousin Roman with Rio Sagebrush, who are reunited out in the street in front of the candle shop, with no sign of the rest of the young lions there. So, Cousin Roman, what's going on there, buddy?
They missed the rendezvous. Keep your guard up, Rio. They could already be closing in on us.
I'll just start like walking down the block, casting message, 120 feet, different directions.
Rosa, are you there? Rosa, are you there? Rosa, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, and you're fully dressed as Cousin Roman at this point, right?
Yeah.
The party has not seen you dressed as Cousin Roman before, have they?
They saw Cousin Roman before Cousin Roman became a complete person. They saw like the rough draft Roman way back in
I remember he had a mustache, and then he didn't, and then he did. That's what I remember.
I remember, were you bald? I don't remember now.
That's my true self.
Oh, and that's who we saw, right?
Yeah, you saw my true self, and then I started workshopping the Cousin Roman identity back in
Okay.
Iron Vale, and fiddled around with the idea for a second, but nobody has seen the fully glammed out Cousin Roman yet.
Got
Okay.
it, got it.
All right, so you're with Rio, and Rio has finished his first drink. He's into his second drink. He's still in good spirits. He's still good-natured. He's telling you filthy jokes, which you're not even sure how to respond to them. But you are
Laugh and laugh and laugh.
Oh, when your uncle is telling you jokes and you're like, "Hey, I'm not one of your friends. Keep those jokes to yourself."
like other people can hear you. You're using your outside voice.
And I'll just like pull a bottle out of my jacket and put it in his now empty hands since he finished his first drink.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. Yeah, he doesn't even question you about where you're going. He's just trusts you implicitly wherever you want to go. So you continue heading towards the D&DCW arena, and that's when Gator, Rosa, Bronson, you all hear these messages firing out. Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And you do hear it. The voice of Cousin Roman or Solomon Scribbles, depending on what the accent is at the time.
Rosa, Gator.
I do have to verbally speak my message, even though it could be a whisper. So I am still speaking in Cousin Roman voice, but out by name.
Rosa, Gator.
I don't name Bronson, though, just in case this guy's already heard the name.
Huh? Oh, what's up, dude?
Oh, there you are. So, some developments. potentially, could we meet up in the back alley behind D&DCW?
Wait, I'm getting some interference. Hang on. And I stick my head out a window. Hello?
I see you. Don't look for me. It'll draw attention.
Gator has to resist the urge not to, like, snap his finger out with a point. And he successfully fights that urge.
Meet me out around back. I've got company. Maybe send Bronson to the restroom before you meet me.
That's a weird request, but okay. What if he doesn't have to go to the bathroom?
I've got company.
Oh, company! Oh, the big phone. Meh. Gotcha.
And
Heads reference.
Gator.
Yes.
I've got company. I don't have company.
I'll figure it out when I get there. Bronson, time to go TT. And then I further explained to Bronson, why don't you go wash your hands for about until all that grime falls off. But I'll be right back. Don't come out. If you hear something really loud, you can probably come out.
Okay. So at this point, Rio, nature's starting to call, and Rio's like, hey, Roman, I need to go water the plants.
Oh, you know what? I got a great alley. The perfect wall. I've written my name there multiple times.
Perfect.
Oh,
Multiple names, multiple times.
Yeah, so he's going to go in the alley to take a leak. Would be happy. And at this point, Gator and Bronson, you're both there. And Rosa, do you dare go into that alley?
I want Rosa there. I don't want Bronson there.
Oh, okay.
Wait, why do you want me there?
Because you're the divinationist.
I'm gonna regret this. All right, I'll follow. Inconspicuously.
All right, so things are going well. Let's just say, as far as our plan's concerned so far, nothing has gone boom yet. But this is my friend Rio.
Hi, Rio.
Yeah, I assured him that I had resources to locate the hideout of the Darker Order. Is there any chance that you've made any headway on that? Like we discussed the other day, like with your rolling your bones or whatever?
Gator stares at Rosa.
I mean, I did find information about where the Dark Order is, if that helps. I even got it on a map.
No way!
Yep, hold it up and I'm like, look at that. Would you
See,
look at
Rio,
that?
didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you?
Oh, you
That's
did.
a good group effort there.
Oh, you told me. You told me some things. You guys would not believe what this guy told me.
Well, what did he tell
Probably
you?
Oh, a gentleman never kisses and tells.
Yeah, that's true.
Who am I lying? I
Brotherhood
do.
secrets.
It's a secret between he and I. A little. He had to learn it the hard way. So where are we going? Where's the kerfuffle?
Yeah, how far away on the map is this swamp then?
Cart. They recommended getting a cart.
Yeah,
They
based on what you've got shown there, it's maybe 5 to 10 miles. I mean, it's a sizable distance.
Okay, so probably only a couple hours.
Yeah. Yeah. So, are you sharing this map information with Rio?
I'm not, unless there's a reason to.
I'll just be like, all right, my wizard friend here, he used the magic of divination, Rio. I'm sure you don't know what that is. Um,
Oh no. Mm.
has narrowed in an approximate location. So, like I suggested previously, we should go check it out. Make sure they're there. Confirm everything's up. Pinpoint the exact location. It's in some sort of swamp. It's only a couple hours away. We pick up a cart. We'll have you there and back. No time whatsoever.
Cart, you say? You know, you may be in luck.
No.
I just so happen to have a cart waiting for me. You're gonna love it.
Rio, is it everything I would love?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I guarantee it. I guarantee you're gonna love the cart.
I shoot a look of pure distress at Rosa.
And then I smile back at Rio like, let's go check out this cart. Tell you what, go piss again one more time real quick. I'll pay my wizard for their services and we can be on their way. Hold on a second. And once he walks away, I'm like, okay, guys, this guy and the pants shitter. You remember him? They're gonna be in the
Yeah.
they're gonna
That's
be
the only guy I remember.
in the battle royale. Now, this is gonna take a journey, but it's manageable before the time of the battle royale. And technically, I may have a subtle control over my friend Rio's mind for the next 7.5 hours.
Oh God, not again.
So, I'm thinking I could pull this guy, use him up, bring him back, maybe too late or out of steam, but just leave him out there. Or if he gets kidnapped by the Darker Order, then I gotta come back and say, hey guys, they took Rio and we gotta go get him, or whatever. We could totally just throw a wrench into this engine, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I would love some backup.
Well, what kind of, are we expecting any sort of, big force? Or are we going to do this with subterfuge?
I mean, you got the location, Rosa. Do you know anything about how many Darker Order are there? They got a buttload of candles, apparently.
Yep, that's all I know pretty much is that they buy out all the purple and black candles. Q was brought in by the Dark Order, probably taken out by said Dark Order.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, the spot on the map and all that. And that a carriage was suggested by the candle maker. That's what I got.
Who knows how many of them there may be there? And again, it might be convenient to lose poor old Rio. I'm not gonna lie, as far as Hardwick goes, he's alright. He's a decent guy, but they're making a play. You know the hard way. They're not gonna stick to the script in the Battle Royale. And it's gonna come down to two working together. And that's not gonna be pretty. If we can mess that up, it'll be good. And if we can use it to continue to build animosity between the Dark Order and the hard way.
Yes. Well, that certainly sounds like the kind of pot that I can stir, says Gator.
Are you in? You want to come?
I was gonna say, are you sure that they're actually going to come and get their friend? Do you think that the Hardway bond is that close?
He's supposed to be in the Battle Royale tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
And they're counting on it. They're desperate. Capital D didn't win the slot for the champion. Like, the Darker Order did. The world champ took up black and purple, and they're pissed.
Well, if it hurts the Dark Order, but
I mean,
I'd hate for
probably
Rio.
where also the clues about the Magicite and the Slam Debit
I
and
know.
everything.
I just don't want to send this poor dude, who's attempting to write his name on the wall.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that hard. It's only 3 letters, but I mean, look at him go. Wait, is that? He's on number 5. I don't know if he can read.
Well, we don't know what script he's writing in.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Can I do an Arcana check? I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. So what you're saying is make him basically a prospect for the higher order, Jesus, the Dark Order, or
Make him a hostage, really.
yeah.
And, or, honestly, more likely, after what we saw happen to good old Q, who was one of them? Probably some sort of ritualistic sacrifice. But
You know what?
for the
Maybe.
greater good.
I was gonna say, so how about this? We go with that. Yeah, take him up there, make him a hostage. Young lions come in to rescue him. When the time is right. Maybe it turns the hearts of the hard way. This is Rosa being the eternal optimist.
I mean, I think the better thing is to rally the hard way to go save him. The young lions should not have their name anywhere near what's about to happen here. We can't afford to, step in it like Lucha Town, We have 2 solid factions hell-bent already on destroying each other. There will be a conflict. And honestly, whatever that looks like is to everyone else in the kingdom's benefit. If they take each other out.
Fine. I have a beef with the Dark Order, so that fits in with it.
So
Gator didn't need much convincing.
Huh?
So Gator didn't need much convincing.
No.
in the background, Rio is singing a drinking song to himself, much louder than he probably should. But he does not care at all what the 3 of you were talking about. He's in. He's 100% in.
Yep. So, I mean, one thing is that Bronson cannot come. We can't afford for the Lion Lord Celtigar to get made anywhere near any of this. But if the 3 of us went together, we'd really have some capability behind us.
Well, Bronson's bladder is probably only so big, so maybe we should head out now. He's just chilling in that bathroom.
Alright, I'm pretty sure I remember where the bathroom is. I'll point through the side of the building towards the bathroom. Bronson?
So is the intention to leave Bronson there without him knowing where you went? Or
No,
is
I'm
it just
right
for...
now messaging Bronson.
Oh, sure. How does it go? Tell me how that conversation goes.
I basically just give him the download of the idea. We'll be back before Battle Royale. And if Gator said that they needed a plan for after Bronson takes the victory, I'll say, we'll have our friend Rio's cart Some getaway wheels? Anybody?
So Bronson wins the match, and then he pulls the cart. Got it.
We all then jump into the cart and ride off into the sunset.
Oh,
Supposedly.
sunsets are my favorite.
So Bronson loves the plan of having somewhere to escape after the match. He can get inside the cart. Nobody will know, and he's okay with staying behind while you're off on this mission. He needs to catch up with Big Varo and Franco, who have some matches coming up on the farm here pretty soon. So he's
tell him to do what he's got to do. Maybe do some like public training with the trainer or whatever in the ring. Attend rehearsal. Do the whole shebang. Make your presence known. Solidify your alibi.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to make himself known around town, and he does have that promo which he's supposed to give prior to the match. So he hasn't really thought that through very much. This will give him a good chance to do that as well. So he says, just make sure to regroup before the match. Other than that, he says he'll protect the ship and he'll hold down the fort.
All in favor. I don't want to strong arm anybody here, not after everything we've been through.
But Rio holds up 2 drinks and he says, "Aye."
I don't want to strong arm you. The guy I'm magically mind controlled.
Well, I mean, he's pretty drunk too, so is he gonna remember it either way?
Yeah, I mean, either way. All right. Take us to your cart, Rio.
Okay. So he says,
Go get these Darker Order bastards.
as you're walking to the cart, he says, "Which one of you are ready to solve a mystery? I've got just the perfect cart to solve a mystery, so let's go do it."
Would you describe it as some sort of mysterious machine?
I would. He goes up to the horse. He goes, "Oh, there's my big guy. It's been too long, Scoobs. I missed you."
Zoinks.
He says, "I'll be ready to go."
Are you feeding that horse a cheeseburger?
It's some kind of people food, certainly. Definitely not food that you would normally give to a horse. It's mostly snacks, that sort of stuff.
Mm.
Before hitting the road, Rio has not so much requested as so much as demanded that he needs to get snacks before the trip and pick up some other provisions just to make sure that this is, a nice ride out to
road trip.
Road
trip, bro.
That's right.
Road trip.
So he goes
I will placate him. I will pick up a few bottles and a bunch of road trip snacks.
Yeah, he is hell-bent on going into Lawful Goodwill to pick up some general store goods. Leaves you alone with that cart, which he had docked at, a cart station? I don't know. Where do you leave a cart? Wherever carts would normally be is where the cart and the horse were. But he's left you alone with the cart and the horse. Do you wait for him to return with the provisions, or do you take off without him?
No, he's coming.
Okay. And the party agrees?
Oh yeah. I was thinking based on a plan we made that we had to take him.
Okay, great.
My plan was to take him.
Yep, so he runs back and his hands are full. He's got snacks and drinks and all sorts of stuff. He's got a backpack filled with who knows what is inside it. So he's got a full set of gear. He's He's got a weapon on him as well as a musical instrument, so he is prepared for the trip. He opens the doors on the back of the carriage, hops in, and then says, "Oh, where are my manners?" He says, he reaches out a hand to Cousin Roman and says, "You need a boost, or I don't want to pick you up. That's demeaning, and I just think so much more of you."
No, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. I got it. I'll just hop, skip up.
Okay, you climb up, and then same for Rosa.
Yep.
Okay. So you were in the cart, and then we're going off to Shrek's swamp now. So here we go. We follow the road, and let's have somebody roll a survival roll for the party.
Rosa.
Really?
High wisdom cleric. Yes.
Oh boy.
Hey, Gator, what's your survival?
Oh, 18. Let's just go
18.
with it.
Perfect. So you stick to the road without getting the cart stuck in the mud. There are a couple spots there where the road is very muddy and is uncomfortable, but you are able to make it all the way to the point at the map where it's got to be close. There has to be signs of something here, but there's nothing visible from the road. At this point, Rio is heavily intoxicated, but he just keeps. He's a machine. He's taken his shirt off at this point, but the hat is still on. He's drinking heavily. He's telling you stories that would make Bronson blush. How do you guys? How do you like Rio so far? Is he getting on your nerves, or have you had enough Rio, as much as you can take, or is he still the guy?
He's probably finally getting to the point with me that I'm caring less that I'm handing him over to a dark cult.
Gator couldn't possibly care less than he did before.
Now, nobody has any type of timekeeping device on them, do they?
Nope.
Oh, let me make sure. Gator's a weird one. Never know.
I mean, theoretically, if it was the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
we have well over 24 hours. Well, we before the battle royale, right?
But the power of suggestion will last you 8 hours, right?
8 hours, yeah.
So there's no way to tell how many hours it's been.
But I'm maintaining concentration, so I feel it.
Okay, fair enough. So
Well, I never thought of that as a convenient timekeeping thing, like having concentration on a spell. Wow.
fair enough. I'll allow it. But at this point, you start thinking about, well, maybe we need to park the carriage somewhere and, follow our spidey sense.
Yeah.
So which one of you has the highest survival skill? Or
Mine and Rosa's are the same. Rosa, is your wisdom only a +2 modifier?
Yeah, that's my highest score is 15.
Okie dokie then.
And Gator's a -1. The only reason he's alive is because of Bronson.
So me or Rosa could roll it. We both have +2.
all right. So
Why don't you do it before I do it?
the plan here is to investigate the woods or the road, to look for paths or look for some type of sign of the area
traffic.
being occupied, right? Recent tracks or traffic in the area. So we're going to have a survival roll to see
Wow.
if
Just
we
'cause
can
you
track
said
that.
the word investigate, would you take an investigation check?
Yes, but it's not going to do the same thing. So,
Okay. Then I'll roll for survival.
sure.
Ah! 4.
4. So at this point, you're looking around, trying to find tracks or anything, and you this is a head scratcher. You're not really sure which way to go, and that's when Rio kind of spills out of the back of the carriage here, hits the ground, bounces right back up to his feet, gives a little jazz hands, and then, starts to Ric Flair strut all the way over to where Cousin Roman is, and he says, "So, boss, what are you thinking?"
We're close. We're in the approximate vicinity. We need to fan out and see if we can shake loose any clues. Why don't you head...
And I'm just gonna look. What's the, darkest, foggiest, boggiest part of this here swamp?
Oh yeah, there's one part that it's very dark. It's got heavy foliage. There's swamp water there. It looks dark. You're pretty
Why
sure.
don't you go check that way?
Okay, so with the power of suggestion, he can't do anything that would be intentionally dangerous, right?
If he thinks that it's dangerous, then yeah, he probably wouldn't do that.
All right, so he will go check it out, but he's not going to get in the water or anything like that. He's
Yeah.
he's going to stand on the fringe of it and just kind of peek around to see if, squint his eyes, see if he can see anything, take his hat off, look, give it another look. He's
Say, everybody fan out, but really just everybody keep your eye on that guy in case he gets got.
So he's looking around, and then you see him turn, and he starts running back to the cart. So he's
What'd
got
you
it. He said, "Gator, Gator."
No.
No, alligator.
Yeah, Gator's over here.
No, there's an alligator in the water.
Oh.
Who's on first?
I don't know. Third base.
Is it following? Is it growing closer to our location near the cart?
Well, let's have an investigation check. Or investigation or perception, either one.
I'll take investigation. It's one higher. 12.
Okay, so upon investigation, you've been watching him the whole time, so you know exactly where he was and the direction from which this entity would have been. You don't see any movement at all except for Rio. Just, he's just all knees and elbows at this point, galloping back to the cart.
Yeah, come on back.
He said, he says there's snakes and alligators and all sorts of stuff.
I once watched a bog person open up a gator's mouth and put his head between the open jaws for like 30 seconds. It was crazy.
All right. He likes that story. He's like, where? He's like, I'll pay you 5 gold if you could do it.
I contemplate. Well, I think about how most of my mind-altering spells require someone to understand me.
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll get your chance. In the meantime, we gotta find this hideout. Come on, everybody.
Rio says, I think I can help with that.
Oh, yeah?
I'm a pretty observant guy. You can't get one past old Rio.
What do you got, brother?
Well, let me take a look here, and and let's get back on the carriage, huh? Yeah,
All right.
I'll
Yeah.
get on top, and
Carriage surfing.
yeah, that's right, and
I'll drive.
I'll keep a lookout for tracks. I do this all the time. I'm very good. I'm very good at this.
Let's go.
Okay, so he's going to make a check here to see if he can find any tracks. What did he get? A 3. No, he didn't find shit.
Rosa, Gator, keep your eyes peeled from the carriage windows.
He's also going to make an athletics check. And he is
Gators, I'm watching.
he has fallen off of the cart as well. So you see him just fall off and just hit the ground and just meat just in the mud, just flap.
As I see him like begin to tumble backwards and my glance over my shoulder while I'm driving, I just turn and look back to make sure he doesn't notice that I saw him, and I just go, "Woo! Yeah, bro!" And I just am yelling and cheering while we leave him behind.
When he takes damage, does he snap out of the spell?
No. Only if any of us attack him.
Okay. So he gets up to his feet quickly, and now he's sprinting after the carriage to catch up with you guys.
Perfect.
Rosa, you can hear him going, wait, real funny. Just come back.
I can't get out of the wagon. It's in motion.
This wouldn't be safe.
Yeah, I'm not gunning it so we don't lose him, but I'm making him run.
Are you going to let him catch up, but you're going to make him gas out in the process?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
All right.
fine. So let's have a perception check from everybody.
Uh-oh. That's not one of my good skills.
Come on.
Oh, 3. So I'm picking my nose and I poke my brain.
15.
I think Scoob farts. And all I can think about is like, what has he been feeding this guy? Because I got a nat 1.
Wow. Rosa, you're watching Rio chase and try to catch up with the wagon. I don't know if you feel bad about it or not. But you do see, as he's running, he passes what looks like a trail that goes into the woods. And in fact, it's a pair of trails, which looks a lot like a cart trail, right? But is behind you. You've already passed it, and Solomon completely missed it as well as Gator. Also, Rio has not noticed it either. He's just trying to catch up.
So I kind of indicate to like slow down or stop, since that's a track.
I'll definitely hit the brakes if Rosa saw something.
All right, so you hit the brakes, and then Rio finally catches up with the rest of the cart, and he's breathing heavily. He's taking his hat off his head. He's got it like on his knee as he's hunched over, and then he vomits. And then,
when did you fall off?
he's laughing, and you can't make any sense of the words he's saying at this point. He's just completely exhausted, can't put together a full sentence, and is pretty intoxicated. But he doesn't seem upset about anything. This was a situation where it's like you try to get in. He tried to get in the passenger seat, and you took off the car like 10 feet, and then he ran up and tried the door again. You moved again. Like, everybody had a good laugh at his expense. He's fine with that.
Yeah. Get him up on the bench with me, but I'll keep driving, and we'll do the process of turning the whole cart around in the middle of the road, and head back towards that trail.
Perfect. All right, so on that trail, it heads down towards the water, but there is an embankment there, and you can tell there's been some traffic through this area. And then you see that there is a house. And it is a house that is isolated. It's out on what looks like an island in the middle of a watery area. There are also some huts around the edges of the area, but there's one big house out in the middle. It's got some lights on inside of it and some smoke coming out of the chimney. The sun is setting at this point. You can hear the frogs of the bayou, or the swamp, if you will. You can see fireflies lighting up all around, and it's getting difficult to see what's in the water at this point.
Is everybody ready to go stealthy? We need to confirm this is really done.
I mean, my stealth is terrible, but
Not anymore.
Third level invisibility on me and Rosa.
Rosa and I. Sorry.
Rosa and,
So
I assume Gator can invisibility himself. He's an illusionist.
You assume too much.
I was like, he's a sailor too, but we saw how that turned out.
So Rio witnesses this. You two vanish, and he looks around, and then he smiles. He says, "You guys want to see something cool? Something real cool?"
Oh yeah.
I reach out, I put my hand on his shoulder, and I say, "Just relax, dude."
So then he casts invisibility on both himself and Gator, and the two of you turn invisible as well.
Oh. All right.
Let's go, team. There's too many structures over there. It can't be. There has to be a way across that doesn't involve getting that wet. Let's do a circle.
Okay, let's
Figure
do
out
it.
what we're dealing with.
Do an investigation check.
Oh, thank God. 21.
All right, so you find that there are a couple rowboats on the shore in a few different areas. There's a total of about 4 boats of different shapes and sizes. None of them match each other. There are some oars with those boats as well, just enough to get across the stagnant water.
All right.
Let's do it.
Everybody's going?
All right.
Just an
Well, now that I'm
empty
in
rowboat rowing across the water.
All right, so are you all in the same boat, or are you going to take 2 boats?
One boat would be less
I would say
conspicuous.
we could probably take one boat. It's 2 regular-sized people and 2 little people.
No Bronsons.
That's right. So there are 4 boats on the shore. There are 2 boats that, well, actually, it's just one boat. There's one boat that's at the house, and there are 4 boats on the land. So you're going to take, forgive me, you're going to take 2 boats. Is that right?
Could we all fit in one? Because we're 2 mediums and 2 smalls.
You could, but it's going to be a little treacherous, right? If everybody leans in one direction, it'll flip for sure. If you take 2 boats, then you don't have to worry about the weight distribution as much.
2 empty boats rowing across the water is significantly more suspicious.
why not say, instead of like rowing in a straight line, just kind of in a
I want to make it drift as much as possible.
yeah, something like that. Make it look like it's more of a drift than just a straight line. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Sure. So
Okay.
let's have a stealth check.
With advantage, because we're all invisible.
Yeah.
Is this a stealth check by everybody or just one?
Somebody roll on behalf of the party with advantage.
I don't know where my dice keeps going. I don't know why I keep putting it back.
I have a +0, so
I got a 15 total.
Okay. Well, that's good enough for you to get close to the house. The house is up on top of stilts over the water. So as you get closer, you see this is what could be best described as a witch's house, which has got different types of roots underneath of it. Like this platform was built on top of an old tree that grew horizontally rather than straight up, but all the branches on it now are gnarled and really thick. The platform itself is a small house, which is it's a single level, and it's not super big, but it's enough that you could fit a fair amount of people in it. So just looking at the grid here, the house is about 30 by 40. Is that right? 30 by 40? Yeah. So you are now underneath of the house, and there is a ladder that will take you up onto the deck. What do you do?
No sign of any people yet?
Let's have a perception check.
Well, good.
12. Let's everybody roll a perception check.
Oh boy. 5. Gator don't do wisdom.
12.
12. So the highest we got was a 12.
Oh boy.
Well, you can hear some movement above you on the floorboards, but you can't discern what it is.
Rio, this is the chance. Why don't you climb up that ladder? See what you can see.
All right. He's very impressionable right now and very drunk, so you can convince him to do just about anything. So he does climb up the ladder, although you can't see him. He's still invisible. He takes a peek, and he can climb back down into the boat. He does so stealthily. Gets back into the boat and rocks a little bit. He says, "You will not believe what I just saw."
What did you see?
He's like, "Okay, maybe you will believe what I saw." So there are two guys up there, and they're wearing all purple and black. They're the guys. They're the bad guys. And
There's 2 of them, though?
yeah.
You think we could take them?
There might just be one. I may be seeing double vision. It's hard to tell, but can we take him?
We could take one guy.
Oh, we can absolutely take one of them, 2 of them. We could take a few of them, to be honest. Yeah.
Tell you
Yeah.
what, you take one, I'll take the other.
Okay. And then what?
Then we'll proceed forward. We'll see what they're hiding here. We'll see if we can uncover a dark secret that'll help us take them down. It'll be even more prestige.
Okay. Well, wait. So let's be very transparent here about what "take them down" means. What?
Like, knock them out.
Oh, no, just knock them out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay. So then he scurries up the ladder and does his best Ace Ventura impression as he's sneaking around invisibly around this witch's house. Although the three of you can't see each other, can you?
Nope.
Even though you're invisible,
So,
you are
I'm now
aware that
just-
you are there.
Yeah, I'm now just casting messages up towards where I think he might be. And it sounds like I'm whispering to him from right next to him with the message cantrip. So
Okay.
he thinks I'm following him. But
Okay.
Ah,
Is anybody getting out of the boat?
no.
Okay.
No.
So, so he can message back, right?
yeah, he can respond to me when
Okay.
I message him.
So he says, "Are you guys up here? Is everybody in position?"
I'm right behind you. Let's do this.
Okay. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Go, 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 go! And then
Get him!
you hear quite a ruckus as there's some shouting going on, and none of you were there, right?
No.
No. Okay. So
But if
Rio's
he
just-
attacked, he drops invisibility.
yes. So he's no longer invisible. There's quite a skirmish going
Gator,
on.
row.
Row, I see about 2 rows of seats.
Yes, you.
Oh, the oar.
You're the medium, we're the smalls. Row, Gator, row.
And I grab one oar, and we just go in a circle for a second.
Rosa, on this oar with me.
Is that dude gonna be all right?
He sounds like he'll be just fine.
We'll come back and pick him up, right?
Yeah, I'm bringing an army back for him.
So Solomon, you can hear him go, That's one down, one more to go. Wait,
What?
crown him, just jump on him, get him. Where you at? Just grab his toe. I don't know, bite him.
Row.
Greenwall, hit the lights!
So there's lots of crashes going on. The shadows are flickering over candle lights, and it's hard to tell what's going on. But it sounds like Rio's doing well for himself.
That's good.
And we're rowing.
And once we're clear and about 60 feet away from, you said the house is up on stilts?
Yes.
Yeah, let's use the big one that I have now. I'm gonna cast a 4th level shatter at the stilts.
Okay. Read the spell for me.
And see if, yeah, here we go. Sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense erupts from the point of your choice. Each creature within 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make a Constitution saving throw. Creature takes 3d8, whatever, thunder damage, halved on a successful save. Creature made of inorganic materials such as stone, crystal, or metal has disadvantage on a saving throw. A non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes damage if it's in the spell's area.
Okay. So the stilt will have to take a saving throw, or you have to roll against its DC. How does it work?
Non-magical objects just take the damage.
Okay. And you have to roll for damage.
Yeah, 5d8 at 4th level.
Oh. Well, let's roll it up.
Ooh, this was a pretty good roll. 20 damage.
20 damage. Yeah, so it's enough to damage the stilt, and it gives way, and the house itself starts tilting and falling over, collapsing on top of itself. You see beams start snapping. Rio is freaking out, and he's going, "They're biting me! They're biting me!" It's pretty awesome, to be honest. But this whole thing starts collapsing upon itself and tilting over into the water. You start to see reactions in the water itself from the wildlife that was already remaining there. And the whole thing is going down. What does the party do?
Row.
Faster, faster.
Row.
Just keep rowing, just keep rowing, just keep
We're
rowing.
just leaving.
Okay.
I assume that Rio is probably gonna die.
Or be
He's a
taken.
tough guy.
Because I could just hit him with a guiding bolt and call it better than getting eaten by gators, but
He might survive that. He's
Clearly a skilled bard, alright? He can handle his own. I just set the place unstable. It's gonna add another chaotic element to the encounter. He might make it out of there. But honestly, I hope he doesn't. Let nature take its course.
So, with that in mind, everybody starts hearing Rio screaming, "Gator! Gator!" as one of the bodies that fell in the water starts swimming towards shore. One of the other bodies gets dragged underwater, and now Rio is trying to climb back up to safety.
Alright. I'm gonna roll a wisdom save to see if I care.
oh no.
+1 bonus.
Ooh.
I
Okay.
might feel a little bad on the inside, which is why I'm putting it to a roll.
Can I hit the gator with a guiding bolt?
Sure.
What do I do?
Sure. You have to get a real lock on it, but you see the area where there's, assuming that it's some type of gator attack. Sure, you can launch a guiding bolt in there, but there's no guarantee that it'll hit the desired target, or may hit both targets, or neither. But yeah, go for it.
Well, isn't Rio just like pointing like, or indicating that there's a gator of some sort?
Based on what you've heard, yes.
So I know the approximate area then.
Do you have dark vision?
Oh god, I don't.
Yeah, so you can't really make out anything. You have a little bit of candlelight from the house, and those candles have now fallen over and are starting to catch flame inside the hut.
Like, the invisibility starts to fade as she starts casting the spell, and like a glow comes. I just reach a hand out and say,
Rosa, I genuinely do feel bad this time.
Well,
But-
technically I can't see him, so I can only hear him.
We're just gonna have to let this one go.
Unfortunately, I think you're right.
So you're just gonna sit back and let nature take its course?
we're gonna
I'm gonna have
back
to. I
the
forgot
car.
about the dark vision, so I don't have it. So, knowing Rosa, she would want to be certain that that guiding bolt would hit the gator and not the dude. Oh. Or I can just take a shot and take them both out.
If you think you can.
All right. I'm gonna launch that guiding bolt.
Okay. So with that one, you pick 4 targets.
Guiding bolt. We'll see. Range 120. I assume I just have to roll a ranged attack or something like that.
I don't even
it's
think
just
you
one
have to do
target.
that.
No,
Oh, I
yeah,
don't
you
think-
do. With guiding bolt, yeah. I think you're thinking about magic missile.
Oh, yes.
Guiding
yeah.
bolt is an attack, a spell attack, a ranged spell attack.
You're right. I was thinking magic
Oh
missile.
yeah, there it is. It's right in front of me. Make a range attack against a target on a hit. Takes 46 radiant damage, and it has a thing about getting advantage, but it's not going to matter. Yeah, I can just add an extra d6, but
For every level.
oh yeah, I forgot I'm all the way up to 4th, aren't I? Alright, you know what? If it hits, I want to make a count.
Well,
so-
you should be 7th level now, right?
Well, but spell casting.
Oh, you can cast
I'll-
spells up to 4th. Okay.
Yes. And I do have a slot I can use, so.
All right. Let it rip.
Alright. Alright, range attack. With the darkness, do I need to roll anything like disadvantage-wise or anything like that, or are we going?
Nope. It's going to be a hit. It's just going to be a matter of which target you hit.
Right.
So I want you to roll for damage first, and then we're going to roll for the target.
Okay, roll for damage. That's 4. 6. Oh my god, that's gonna be 7. So 4. I can get enough dice for this 5, 6, and. Alright, I'll have to re-roll one of these 6s. You said damage first?
Mm-hmm.
24.
So you rolled 76?
Yes.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah.
All right, 24 damage. Okay, and then roll a d20 for me.
And it's gonna be 18.
18. Yeah, so you managed to hit both of them, both the Darker Order Acolyte and the Gator at the same time, because the Acolyte is currently in the Gator's mouth. So you're able to hit both of them, dealing a total of 24 damage, of 24 radiant damage, which seems to eliminate whatever type of battle the two of them were in. You can't make out if either one of them survived. But the splashing has ceased over there, as well as the splashing from the two individuals that were swimming to shore to get away from the attacks. And then Solomon, you hear the message from Rio. He says, I got him over here on the shore.
You made it to shore?
I did, and I got him. I got the guy.
Fantastic. And I brought the house down. That's what we do, brother.
That was get over here quick. That was crazy.
All right. Well, no, you get over here quick.
No, I got the guy. You got to come to me.
Wait, you got him alive?
Yeah, yes, I'm holding him.
You
Come-
know, guys, despite at every turn that I've been trying to kill this man, I think I really like him. He's got a prisoner from the Darker Order. You want to go ask your questions, science nerds?
Science.
Let's do some nerd stuff.
Magicite?
Oh, that'd be a
Slamdemic?
good thing to ask.
Magicite, Slamdemic, Darker Order, and Q.
All right.
We're coming to you, bud. We're coming to you. You keep that guy there, man. You are the champion. This is going to win you so many points in Samario's eyes. We're going to show back up to the party tonight. and we're gonna start a whole new party, bro.
That sounds great. Just hurry up. He's wet and he smells bad.
Hey, row.
Yep, now I'm rowing.
All right, so you're able to reunite with Rio. He's got this cultist, this acolyte, in wet black robes with purple trim. He's got a symbol drawn on his forehead, the symbol of the Darker Order, which is like an open eye with a line down the middle of it and rays coming off of it. And he's got this guy subdued in like a rear naked chokehold. Is available for questioning. What do you do?
Because at this point, like, I can't. Rio has officially thoroughly endeared himself to me. Because that was just too good. And so. He won't notice a change, I don't think. Because he's so intoxicated. Because he's so Rio. I'm just gonna drop the suggestion on him, and I'm gonna lean forward to this Darker Order and go, hey, listen, bub.
I suggest you start talking, and you answer all of our questions until we're done asking them.
Instead of Solomon breaking off his suggestion to Rio, I was just going to take over suggestion for the Dark Order guy.
Okay.
Make a saving throw.
Oh yeah, DC 14 saving throw. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, so he is under your influence at this point.
All right, and I'll, kind of do my best, my best Solomon, and just kind of lean down and be like, "Hey, you're gonna tell us everything we want to know."
He says, "I'll never tell. I won't tell you anything."
Okay, so that means my suggestion didn't work.
No, not. Don't give up so easy.
Yeah, what's your name? Mr. I Won't Tell.
My name is Marcus, but that's all I'm going to tell you.
Yeah? What's the name of your buddy who's Gator food?
Well, I'll tell you, but that's all I'm going to tell you. His name is Le'Veon. But that's it.
For sure. I think we have established a decent baseline.
Okay, fair enough. So, let's start with something kind of recent. How about, what do you know of this gentleman Quick Switch? Or Q?
Quick Switch. I mean, I don't know him. I never seen. I hate Quick Switch. That guy, he's the worst. He thought he was so tough. He thought he was better than the rest of us. But we showed him, didn't we? He was a fine sacrifice.
What'd you sacrifice him for?
It's hard, you had to be there. I don't know that I can really explain it in a way that makes sense.
Well, trust me, we're a rather educated lot when it comes to matters of the arcane. I'm sure we'll follow.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So, you have to, with necromancy, you have to give something to get something back. And, sacrifices had to be made, but it's all for the greater good. It's
What were you trying to get with the sacrifice?
well, it's all part of the plan. You know how things go. I mean,
I know exactly how things go. You're absolutely right. Honestly, there's a much easier way to get around this. Why don't you tell us exactly the plan as far as you understand it?
this all sounds so much better when it comes out of his mouth. But if you make some sacrifices, then you gain the power, and then you can open the gates, and then you can, build an army. And that's how it was explained to us. And it really made a lot more sense when he was pitching it to us during the meeting.
No, I follow you. You guys are on some classic dealing with dark entities thing. No, that's cool. Let me just ask, who is he? Who explained this to you?
Well, I don't know his name. He just goes by, and this is really cool. He goes by the name The Darkness.
The darkness. All right. And you wouldn't happen to know anything about the recent induction of the world champion into the Dark Order, would you?
Oh, that, yes. No, yeah, I know. Yes, no. I know all about that. So, the Alfarius Cone.
Yeah.
He's the man, right? The exalted
pull
one.
for you guys.
The world champion. Yeah, so we recruited him. By we, I mean somebody else. And he's one of us now. He's
The darkness, probably.
Could be. I don't want to speak for the darkness, because if he heard about that, then he may want to take my arm. That would not be good. I don't want that. It's much more fun to be in a cult when it's other people getting sacrificed. You know how that goes. So the darkness, we do some things. We help out the exalted one. Everybody benefits, and we're all better off in the long run. The promises were made that I'll be in a much better situation after the slamdemic, and after the gates are open and the king is dead. Then everything is much better. It's much better.
That's great. I mean, speaking of that slamdemic, your group seems pretty closely tied up in all of that. Would you care to explaining specifically to my friend here, the lovely lady, how you're exactly associated with this pathogen?
Oh, well, it's all mathematic. The magicite enhances magical ability, and when used by a magic user, specifically one of necromancy, that can be used to bring on disease, cause great death and suffering, and bring peace to the world, right? It's clean slate, and then the Darker Order steps in, and then we rebuild it up in our own image.
Any follow-up questions?
Well, let me ask you a question here, if I may. And this is the elevator pitch, okay? The Darker Order, are you fed up with the way that this government runs the kingdom? Are you fed up with the ruling class? Are you fed up with the capital? Because that's what the Darker Order is trying to accomplish. Getting rid of the current structure of our government and returning the power back to the people, specifically the members of the cult. You too can be in the cult. There are open positions. The process is, there's a very short vetting process, much easier than getting into the despicable hard way. I can put in a good word for you with the darkness, and we can get you right in. We can get you some robes, some candles, a membership card, everything that you need to get you started down the path towards the darkness. And you won't get the slamdemic.
And
Guaranteed?
Come again?
Go ahead. Ask your question, Rosa.
I'm rethinking it because it's like, wait a minute, am I just dumb? All right. So is there something you guys do to basically prevent getting the slamdemic?
Well, it's necromancy. It's a disease born by magic, targeted at specific victims. There's an enemy of the darker order. They're taken out with the slamdemic. That's how it works.
But at the cost of so many civilians and also, potential people you could bring into said cult.
Well, that's collateral damage. There are too many. There are too many people involved to save them all, and sacrifices have to be made. Surely you can understand that. And not all these people are good people. There are some people who, their sacrifices will do a lot of good for a lot of other people.
I should have let the Gators eat you.
Oh, why would you don't really mean that.
Now I'm having an interesting thought that it might be worth it, based on what he said, to send this gentleman on his way. There's nobody else besides you and that other guy who were in this house right now?
That's true. There were just the two of us.
Are you waiting for others to come back, or do you know where your higher-ups are held up?
Well, they're all in town for Grapplemania tomorrow night.
You guys got a plan for the Battle Royale, don't you?
Well, who doesn't?
What were you gonna do?
They didn't fill me in on that part of the plan. They made me and Le'Veon stay here to guard the home base, and I'm afraid that when they see it, that's going to be bad time for me. So,
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Tell you what, Rio, hold on to this guy. Sidebar. My other associates. All right. We got two options here. We throw this guy back in the water, and let
his god
a
sort it out.
hungry creature find a decent meal tonight, or we actually let this guy go, so that he can run back to town and tell his bosses that the hard way destroyed their hideout.
So yeah, add on to that.
That one. Yep.
You're thinking exactly kind of where I'm going, Solomon. But they want their urn. I'm putting air quotes around it back, right?
Yeah. Should we tell them where it is?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'll have you know here, friend. Well,
Marcus. My name is Marcus.
Marcus. Yeah. I want you to know, Marcus, that the people who took you down tonight and the people who made you spill your guts just now were Hardway.
No!
And I'm gonna throw another shatter at the
knew
house,
it.
like see if I can bust out another beam and sink more of it into the bog.
Yeah. So it's completely demolished now, just folding in on top of itself. And he's crying hysterically now, just ugly tears, like he's on Oprah.
Honestly, crybaby, we were expecting way more of a fight. You all just folded, just like your flimsy little house. And no wonder it was so easy for us to steal your boss's family urn and hold it up in our bar. But, I think this is shame enough. You should have to live with this yourself, my boy. Go run on home. Get out of here.
He says, we're going to get that urn back, and we're going to give it back to Alfarius.
Sure you will. You'll never make it through all of our higher-ups that are in the tavern right now in town for Grapple Mania to pull our own shenanigans tomorrow night at Battle Royale. You'll never stop us.
Just wait until he gets the ashes back from his brother. You have no idea what he's going to rain down on top of you.
Ooh, I'm scared.
Sure it will. Wait till the next rematch from Capital D is gonna make him his little baby. Oh, Mr. Cone, he's gonna be little baby Cone. Get out of here. Go, get
All right.
out.
So now he's backpedaling and he's stumbling off into the darkness at this point, and Rio is standing up to brush himself off, and he's like,
You're gonna be a hero for this one, Rio. This was all you.
"Oh, you think?"
Yeah, you made this whole thing happen. None of this could happen without you. You found the trail. You got this guy. You grabbed him. All the secrets are yours now because you got him. And, I mean, the information that he now has as well, totally your responsibility. You got this one, man. You're gonna wow everybody.
Well, can we walk and talk, because it's pretty dark out here, and there's more than one Gator.
Yeah, let's go. I'll lead the way. I have dark vision.
All right. So with that said, we're gonna cut the session there, walking back on the trail to the mystery machine, victorious and finding out some useful information about the Darker Order. Nothing new about the Hardway. I don't think anything's changed there, but you did get to meet Rio. You made a new friend, and now the rest of the Hardway is back at the clubhouse. Hopefully it hasn't blown up yet, or maybe it would be better if it did blow up. I don't know. But some revelations here to share with Bronson when he comes back.
I think Bronson's gonna be so proud of us, gang.
Probably, yes. You convince somebody else to do your dirty work. He will be very proud. So that's going to be it for tonight. That's been Kings Road Young Lions. I've been Saucey. They've been the Young Lions. Say goodbye, Young Lions.
Bye.
Goodbye, young lions.
Hey, congratulations. If you're still listening, that means you made it to the end of the episode. Thanks for coming by and listening to this edition of Kings Road Young Lions. If you like what you've heard, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a comment down below of what you'd like to see on the next episode. For more great content from This Is Awesome Promotions, check out the YouTube channel, check out the Twitch channel, check us out on Twitter at TIA Promotions. Thanks again for coming around, and we'll see you next time down on the King's Road.